Hi, welcome to another episode of Baby Narc. Um, One of Brian's old bandmates sent him, they hadn't talked in a while, sent him a recording on an album that they made of a song that he had written, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago, about Shelley and Brian's relationship. Right? So he sent it to me and I listened to it. I'm talking to this fool, but now at this point, I'm starting to not be in love with him anymore because, who he really is not the man that I'm in love with, I'm in love with I'm in love with that guy that, doesn't exist. So I'm handling it. I'll make another video as to my reasons why I'm interacting with him. I don't recommend it, but I will, in another video, I will tell you why this is working for me. Basically because I don't want him to lash out and stalk me physically and create problems with me at my apartment or my job or whatever. So anyway, but whatever. So now it's just a morbid fascination and curiosity about this whole disorder. So, I don't know where to look. I got this new phone and now I'm like, what? Okay. So this song, now there's not one single word lyric in this song that I don't already know because I've heard the Shelley and Brian story 8 million times. I could quote verbatim what happened in their relationship. Well, except for what Brian's, what his fault in the whole matter was. That I can only speculate, but trust me, he was not innocent. So, what I figured out is Shelley has histrionic personality disorder. Hoe bag, that's what we call it in my day. Provocative, stripper, always needing attention. She would show up at all of his shows and flirt with guys and get them to buy her drinks and basically to take her attention off of Brian's band. When he first started telling me these stories over and over and over, I kept thinking, well, maybe she was just trying to make him jealous. Because she didn't love him. She was jealous because histrionic personality disorder, they're all narcissistic personality. They're all narcissistic tendencies, but just with separate personality disorders that make them distinctive from each other. Anyway. But still, the narcissism about being jealous of people. Not being jealous of someone like you don't want anybody else to have that person. No, being jealous of that person, who they are, what they're about, what they do, what they have. And she was so jealous of his notoriety and him getting famous. And it wasn't just him because, he was swamped with women, girls, all the guys and bands back then were. So it wasn't just that. She was actually jealous of his success because people were paying attention to him, not her. So she would come to his shows and dress, half naked, and he would beg her not to even come. And no, she had to go. And she would show up and then she would run off with guys and do God knows what with them in the parking lot while he's on stage. So, and actually this did fuck him up because one night it got so bad, he had an A&R guy there. This is back in the day when the music business worked that way. He had an A&R guy there to watch his band. To maybe sign a deal with them, and she really started acting out, and I think she was like making out with some guy at the bar. Oh my god. And so Brian jumps off stage and I guess went to go beat that guy's ass, and yeah, the A&R guy's like, oh yeah, fuck that, it was too much drama. So it ruined that. And but then here's the deal with the whole dynamic of this. Brian always claims that he was such a sweet, innocent, loving boyfriend. Yeah, whatever. Um, I'm sure his narcissism probably triggered her histrionic personality, her HBD. And, because he's so cold and he's got Asperger's, and she needs extra attention. And she was sexually abused and probably I mean, of course, that all, was a, cocktail of, abuse. And so his severe narcissism and being aloof and being young, a young boy, and then he was getting famous, and he also, he's a musician with that Asperger's, and music is more important to him than breathing. So he paid less and less attention to her, and that just spiked her histrionic, lashing out, acting out, sleeping with his friends, and then of course how Brian does it, how he's always done it with me, is he chases after, well, not chases after, but he's always commenting on how pretty or talented some female singer is or whatever. Now me, now it got to the point where it did start making me mad because I could tell he was doing it on purpose. But with her being young, him being young, then they're all into drugs and just the whole mess. And then because of her disorder, it just spiked her into being so jealous. So whether he was, and of course, knowing him, he probably was talking to girls. I don't think he was messing around with anybody. And then, of course, her sister Samantha had a crush on her. So that's a really weird dynamic. And then I guess the apartment complex that they lived in, Brian and Shelley, I guess, here comes Samantha. She's got to get an apartment close by in the same complex. You know what I mean? And then Samantha has borderline personality disorder, not histrionic. It's a different thing. And so it's just this horrible dynamic. So Shelley the only thing she knew to do was to sleep with all of Brian's friends and then everybody else she could. I mean, that's what she would do. Like every day she was sleeping with somebody or something, messing around, even kissing, I mean, whatever. Just, and throwing it in his face. And then it embarrassed him. Narcissists don't like to be embarrassed or shamed in any way. So here he's got this woman who's acting like this, who's clearly showing to the world that she doesn't care about him. I feel that because I do know a lot of Brian's friends from before and some that I met recently during this whole ordeal. And when he publicly talks shit about me to me, or posts anything about other women, all this shit that he recently wrote about recently wrote about Samantha, it's embarrassing. So, that's why I've been really reluctant to post anything about me and him on any of my social media. I don't do it, and I don't introduce him to people in my life who don't already know him, because it would cause me shame. I would have narcissistic shame because it's embarrassing. And so it was just this crazy thing. And listening to that song last night, and Brian's not lying about how bad it was. I mean, for this guy and his band to write a song about it, and all of those lyrics were literally the story of all the shit. It was actually a really good song, like really good. Like that song is so good it should be on freaking, well, it's on YouTube, but it should be like, you should be able to, well, I mean you can, but I'm saying they should play that like on the radio or something. Like it's a good song. And it was verbatim all of the shit that Brian told me about her. Of course, it was directed at how horrible she is. It wasn't anything like, oh well, you deserved it. So yeah. So in my research, I swear I'm gonna end up being a therapist over this. a narcissist therapist. Well, we need a whole, there needs to be a whole university for specific therapists who go into this with cluster B personality disorder therapy. So if you're interested in psychology, please become a specified therapist in this horrible disorder. So yeah, so that's the thing. And so here's the other thing. So we have 4 dynamics, okay? We have the male narcissist, the puppet master. He wants everybody to do what he wants. And if you don't do what he wants, then, okay, I'm gonna have to pause this video. I'm at work. I'm gonna have to answer the phone and I'll be back.